What's going on, folks? Welcome to Kids Today with Dr. Kamal Jones. I am Dr. Kamal Jones. We are recording this live in Grand Central Station after having just wrapped up at the No Kings protest happening in Manhattan this weekend. It was a lively event. It was peaceful. Folks had a really powerful time standing up for children, for families, for a host of issues happening around the country. So check out this episode where we interview folks, where we show you behind the scenes at the protest, and we give you all the details about what went down. On Saturday, June 14th, millions of people across the nation and globally participated in over 2,000 protests as part of No Kings Day. These protests were organized to coincide with Donald Trump's birthday and military parade, which was taking place on the same day in Washington, D.C. I participated in the protests in Manhattan, where upwards of 50,000 protesters are estimated to have shown up, marching from Bryant Park all the way down to Madison Square Park. While there, I stopped and talked to several protesters about why they came out and about how they think the Trump administration has been impacting children and families. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Alicia Pitterson, and I'm from Manhattan, and I'm part of St. Paul and St. Andrew United Methodist Church on the Upper West Side. And we're here because, hey, unity matters. Fascism needs to be crushed. Loving your neighbors is a thing, and we tend to make sure that happens, and we're fighting for the rights for everybody that is oppressed. So I'm glad to be here and glad to meet Dr. Jones.
Oh, thank you so much. You're welcome to share your name. You don't have to, but...
Bob from Queens.
Bob from Queens. Bob from Queens, what brought you to the protest today?
It was essential that I put my foot down and show other people that we care what's going on. We're not just laying down.
What brought you here today?
My 9 grandchildren brought me here. I have 9 grandchildren who I don't want to grow up not knowing what democracy looks like. They might have to rebuild it one day.
Who do I have here with me?
I'm Allison.
I'm Jody.
What brought you to the protest today?
There's so many things that couldn't fit on my sign, but in general, human rights is so important, and seeing, in particular, I've been an ally for trans rights and trans children for 20 years, and seeing the progress that we made in 20 years rolled back is a heartbreaker for me.
I do work focused on children and focused on families. When you look at the things that we're seeing within this administration, how do you see this impacting the kids of our country?
Terribly. You know, all the social programs are being cut. Kids, universities are being attacked. Children are being pulled out of schools. This isn't the America that I grew up with.
It's just unbelievable that ICE is going into schools and that kids have to come home and their parents aren't there anymore and they're just lost. There's no one to even help them or represent them.
When you think about all the stuff we've been seeing around our country, how do you think that could impact children in particular?
I think, sadly, some will be afraid, but I think parents and friends and teachers and anybody who cares about children should have a conversation with them and say, well, when you see things, what does that make you feel, and what would you like to do about it? And maybe they can color together or create story together or videotape doing their own march in the living room and how they would be if they were fighting for something that they love.
What does it look like for our voices to be heard in this moment?
It looks like this to start with, but it looks like these people all going home and organizing too in their communities and with their friends and neighbors, kitchen to kitchen. Even though we've got all this technology, people to people is the way to do it. And I'm glad that we're in an era where people are back out in the streets.
It has been a beautiful day just to see folks standing up for democracy, using their voices, standing up and talking about all the issues that we care about. Things like immigration, things like access to food and food resources, things like standing up as a community and reminding ourselves that we are not a dictatorship, we are a democracy, we stand with one another. So hear the voices of these folks. They're singing, "We shall not be moved," and that is the message that we have for this administration. We shall not be moved. You cannot just come in here and do whatever you want, throw us around, and think that we'll accept that. We will use our voices in a peaceful but strong manner, and we shall not be moved. So it's great to see you folks, and we'll catch you next time on Kids Today.